Hey YouTube, Will Racer here. I wanted to do a review of this FMS P-51. This is the 1450 millimeter model in the Ferocious Frankie scheme. I wanted to do a review of it after I'd gotten about 25 or so flights on it. And I'm right around 27 now, so I think I've got a good feel for the overall characteristics of the airplane, the pluses, the minuses. So I thought I'd share some of that with you. We'll start with some of the pluses. It's obviously a pretty good sized bird. It looks pretty good. This is the EPO foam. It's got a nice finish to it. It is a little susceptible to hanger rash, particularly when I'm transporting it in the trailer. But other than that, it's a good looking bird. It has a lot of nice scale details. The navigation lights on the wings, the big four-bladed propellers, these removable wing tanks are really nice, and the scale functional retracts, very nice. The doors open the same way the full scale did. So it would open the doors, close the gear, and then pull the doors closed again. The gear itself is really nice. I did have to reattach all the gear, pull everything off and reattach it with thread locker because stuff was a little bit loose. I actually had to grind down some of the flat spots on the piano wire as well, just a little bit more to get everything lined up just right. But once that was done, the gear's been pretty solid with one little exception that I'll get to. The tail wheel is steerable, but because of the way that the servo is set up, you can only get so much travel on the wheel itself. So your ground handling isn't great. You're not gonna have any sharp turns or anything on the ground. It's kind of scale. It's gonna use a lot of runway to turn around. But other than that, it handles as you would expect a tail dragger warbird to handle. Other issues that I've had with it, after 20 flights, the stock motor threw all of the magnets, not just one or two, but all of them got thrown. It was grinding really bad. That happened mid-flight. You could hear it grinding from 200-300 feet away. So got it down in one piece. Everything's okay with the airplane itself, but did have to replace that motor. Had a little bit of trouble getting the spinner and everything to balance, but that happens with every kind of manufacturer. The only other issue I've had with the aircraft was with one of the flaps. The hinge line, it basically is a hinge that's built into the mold, and the hinge failed mid-flight, and the flap itself was just flapping. Obviously that made for a kind of a rough landing, and on that landing I did have to replace the two pieces of piano wire that joined the retract to the struts. Just had to recreate those because they were bent and one was actually sheared. So other than that, than those little issues with the gear, it's been solid. This particular bird, I'm also running the MrRC sound system. I'll put a link to it down below. It gets a lot of looks at the field. It's a lot of fun. Let me fire it up for you here.
Airplane.
So if you have enough channels with the sound system, you can actually have you have the sound system yell out clear prop, you got a machine gun noise, there's other stuff for the P-51. I don't have enough channels right now, so all I've got is the throttle channel. So with this particular sound system, one thing I have found with this MrRC sound system is that I have to connect my flight battery pack, because I'm running them all off the same battery. So I have to connect the flight pack to the ESCs, let everything initialize, and then plug in the connector for the sound system. If you just have the sound system plugged in when you connect the flight battery pack, it doesn't always respond the way that it's supposed to. So this is the only way I've found to have it work reliably. So with the sound system, sounds something like this for the startup sequence. So that's pretty cool, right? definitely gets a lot of looks at the field. It's a lot of fun. Something else I hadn't mentioned is that the cockpit can actually be opened. Definitely a really neat feature. It also helps you, a lot of times you'll have to throw a towel over your canopy or something so that the interior of the cockpit doesn't melt, especially if it's made out of foam. This is a nice feature. You're able to open it up and it stays cool. You can still throw a towel over it. If you wanted to get in here, the pilot's scale enough, the interior's scale enough, it looks just fine from a distance. If you really wanted to get in there and work on it and make it really scale, you could certainly do that. Something I've seen other folks do, the MrRCSound system actually will automatically sync the machine gun noise with an LED. So before you attach these machine gun pods, you can actually put LEDs in the little barrels and get the flash effect, the muzzle flash effect. Definitely cool. I didn't have enough channels, so I didn't bother with all that wiring and extra work, but it's definitely something that's possible and looks very cool. So flying characteristics. It's not a screamer. This isn't not a 100-mile-an-hour bird. It flies very scale. I am running it with takeoff flaps, landing flaps. The ground handling and taxiing is a bit of an issue to get her in the air, but once you're up, it flies very, very scale. It's a real pussycat to land as well. Very easy to land with those full flaps. I really enjoy flying this bird. I wish the motor was a little bit beefier, but for what it is and for the cost, it's a fantastic plane. So I really enjoy it. If you guys got any questions about it, you want to see anything else about it, let me know. Post down below, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.